Hello everybody and welcome back to the kitchen. It's been a little while, but I've been very busy baking cakes this summer. But it's still summer and I'm here now and I'm going to show you a lovely pudding today. It is the perfect time of year for berry picking, blackberries obviously, and if you're lucky any other sort of berries. And with that in mind, we're going to incorporate that bit of fun with the fun of making a pudding with them. It's a no-bake pudding. In fact, it's a cold pudding, but it's really, really delicious. You can use all the berries. It's really easy. Like I said, it doesn't involve any cooking, but it does involve chilling in the fridge overnight, so it's a bit of a two-day job. But I think you'll find it's worth it. So here's everything we're going to need. We're going to need roughly about 750 grams of mixed summer fruit. So I've got some blueberries, some red currants, raspberries, strawberries and blackberries, which I've picked. Now you could have any sort of summer berries that you want. You could even put cherries in there, or blackcurrants or white currants, and you can have more of one than the other. It doesn't really matter as long as there is 750 grams. Also, you don't have to have fresh, you can use frozen fruit, it works just as well. We also need caster sugar, 185 grams of that. We need one medium loaf of good quality bread, I would say, slightly stale, a day old or a day or two old. If you haven't got this sort of bread and you've just got sliced bread, use sliced bread. But this is a little bit better. Now this is optional, you don't have to use this, but it does give an extra bit of sweetness to the fruit. So I'm using my Bina, any sort of blackcurrant cordial, or you can use crème de cassis, which is a blackcurrant liqueur. We also need a pan. And we need a pudding bowl. Ta-da! Yeah, a 1 litre pudding bowl, which is what we're going to put our pudding in. Okay, so now we are going to add our fruit to the pan. Now, the trick, if you are using red currants to get them off the stalk, is with a fork. Just go like this, and they'll all come off. Blueberries, I'm using 150 grams of each of these actually to make it up to 750, so I've got equal measures. Strawberries, which I've hulled and sliced, raspberries, and of course the blackberries. And I'm going to put the sugar in here as well. Now if you have time, you could cover this up now for a few hours and let the sugar bring out all the juices of the fruit before you bring it to the boil. Or you could just go straight ahead and heat it up. So moderate heat we want now. We're going to bring it gently to the boil. While our fruit is simmering, we are going to thinly slice the bread, well, thin to medium, and remove the crusts. I'll stand up for this. Okay, so about there. So sharp knife, maybe get an adult to do this one. Thinly slice. Now the reason staler the better is because usually slice is a bit better. Yeah, that's probably all right. Okay, as you can see now, I've got lots of crusts and a few slices of bread. Now, I'm not sure exactly how many I'm going to need. If I need some more, I'll just have to cut more afterwards. So will you. Now, don't throw these in the bin. You can either blitz them up and use them for breadcrumbs, put them in the freezer, use them for breadcrumbs for a later recipe, or, of course, give them to the birdies. Okay, I've taken it off the heat now. I'm going to stir in 2 tablespoons of the Ribena. And now we can assemble the pudding. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is line the bowl with some cling film so that it's easier to get out of the bowl tomorrow when it's done. I think I might just grease the bowl slightly as well. Two sections is best because it's easier to get off. It's easier to get off. So overlap the layers like that. And we shall proceed. Right, we need one to go in the bottom. So it should be a round, really. And then we're going to put the bread around the edges. So I'm going to cut them into triangles. And then we're going to fit them in. We're going to go like this and then go round. But before that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip the bit of bread on the bottom in the juices of the fruit mix so that it's already lovely and red and absorbing on one side. Then we're going to do the same with all of the pieces that's going around the outside. Bit like a jigsaw puzzle. Right, don't worry if you've got bits hanging over the edge because you can trim them off, but what we don't want is any gaps. So if you see any gaps, you fill those in with bits of bread. Okay, now that we've filled our dish with the bread and there's no gaps, we're going to fill it with the mixture. Okay, now that it's full, we're going to put more bread slices on the top. Okay, now that you've filled the top with bread and filled all the gaps, you can trim the excess off the edge. I'm going to use a little scissors. Right, now that everything is in place and trimmed, we're going to put a plate now, or a saucer, on here. So you put this one on here. Be worth putting the bowl on a plate, like this, to catch any spillages. And then we're going to push this down, and we're going to weigh it down, so that it all squidges together. So on here now, you want to put like a tin of beans or a bag of rice or something like that. And we're going to weigh it down. Then we're going to put it in the fridge overnight. And we'll come back to it in the morning. So, as I said, this little bundle of joy needs to go in the fridge overnight with something heavy on top of it. But don't put it in straight away. Let it cool a bit first. And I'll see you in the morning. Hi, well, good morning, everybody. let's go and see how our pudding has turned out. Okay, so what we need to do now is take our weight off. And now we're going to gently take this saucer off. And I'm going to get something to run underneath it. There we go. Woo! Now we need to put this, which is what I'm going to serve it on, hopefully, if it's big enough, on the top. And then we're going to tip it over. Yes, that's better. So now we need to quickly turn it over. Right. Now then. Hopefully the cling film has worked. And so we can look at that! One beautiful pudding! Okay, so I've taken a couple of slices out, so this is what it looks like. Isn't it lovely? And now I'm going to taste it. That is delicious. I've got mine with cream, but you could have it with ice cream or crème fraîche or anything like that, or on its own. It's just delicious.